I say there are two types of ignorance. There's classic ignorance, which is you honestly don't know. And then there's good old trendy ignorance where you ain't business. You ain't want to know. You just, there ain't have time for that, right? And I want to challenge that. Yes, it's hard to find that information. We didn't write about ourselves. The only writing about the Carnival and the Juve is from a whole other perspective, and is fraught with condemnation and scorn and negativity. And in doing our research and us trying to even understand what it is the Juve is, because we're born in it, you grow around it, nobody ain't explaining it to you. I was exposed to Juve at 9 years old. I was part of a band called Merry Dark Isles, which was a Juve institution from Dark Isle Lane in Belmont. They used to play like real hardcore Juve. But it's only as big now when we decided to make a Juve intervention at the time, because we find the thing was getting pretty and corporate, that we had to do reverse engineer and say, but if we're offering this thing to people, it behooves us to understand what this thing is. And it's only as a big man I came to understand the connection between Juve and the emancipation and the Camboulet and all these things and those signifiers of our liberation and how we claimed our freedom in 1834, when the Juve, or the Carnival itself, was claimed by the formerly enslaved Africans. It became something else. The streets, the road make to walk, that ethos of claiming the streets, that's when that came into being. That wasn't part of the mix before. Carnival, prior to that, was house to house, ball to ball, fete to fete. So the understanding that we've always had the Mardi Gras, and then came the Camboulet, and it was always one of contestation. And the powers that be was always trying to quell the spirit of the Camboulet, quell the African spirit that gave life to all these expressions, to the point where, when the Africans claimed the streets, they pulled away and they spent the next 40, 50 years fighting it down by any means necessary. Literally, they tried to ban it. And then we had the Camboulet riots in 1881. And then after that, they came up with the best way of quelling the expression, which was to institute competitions. And competitions have rules. In 1919, when they put in the rules, no whining, no jamming, no obscenity, no this, no that, that's when they finally got a handle on the festival and it became controllable or tame. So just understanding that and picking up that history over the years. So as we find out more, we'll put it in song, we'll put it in our shows, we'll try and tell the story as best we could. And we're realizing that a lot of people not doing that work because it's hard work to do, a lot of it is not ready, it's not on YouTube. I tell people nowadays, if something not on YouTube, you think that it's not there, you have to go and find it, you have to go and do the research. Fortunately, I had a father that was from Henry Street and would tell me stories. Fortunately, I grew up in Belmont and surrounded by, Carnival energy from early. Jason Griffith, master sailorman, was my barber. Ken Morris was just up the road, master copperman. And in years later, you get to realize, all these things was feeding you and giving you a context, We were lucky to work with Minchell from the age of 19, who introduced the idea of mass and art and drawing on tradition and innovating based on tradition. Everything he did was informed by the bat and the sailor and all those things that we had. He wasn't trying to make something out of nothing, So just understanding what a rich legacy we have, what a rich heritage we have. And our job is to keep it alive, keep it contemporary, because Carnival is a contemporary thing. Carnival is not a old folks nostalgic thing, and there's always that fight between what was, what is, and what could possibly be.